Jeremy, regarding the trade, it sounded like the Ravens were moving to a scheme they felt like you would be the best fit, and obviously the Niners sliding was an ideal fit here. I guess, given that, and then having to leave your team and everything, what were your emotions, when you learned about it?
I think it was just kind of interesting for me, just given the timing of it all. Like I kind of, I thought some things might be happening, but once we got past, I don't know, May, early March, when a lot of those things kind of happen, you kind of start preparing for what you're going to go into. And then I think I was actually on a plane when it happened. I landed and got a voicemail from Ozzy, and kind of, it was a little surprising at that time. But you take it for what it's worth. Yeah, scheme-wise, I think they'd been kind of moving away from the thing I was brought there to run, and so it kind of just didn't make sense anymore. That's the way it felt to me. So the scheme that we run here is kind of what I was brought there to run initially, and so I'm happy that I get to run it again.
At what position do you think are you the better fit for this offensive line?
I think me personally, I'm better at center, and then this kind of thing. I had 2014 we ran this system, and that's the only thing I played. I didn't play anything else that time, and I felt we did a pretty good job. So.
And is that a lot because of just your knowledge, and that knowledge of the system can kind of shine through more at center than?
I mean, knowledge-wise, I don't think that really makes a difference. I mean, if I had been playing guard more, I would probably be comfortable there. It just last 3 years I've played exclusively center. So that's what you're gonna be more comfortable at.
In the spring, you had an injury. Can you say what that injury was, and how are you feeling now?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I pretty much moved past it. It's not slowing me down anymore at this point, so just moving on from it.
Was it like a soft tissue injury, or?
Yeah, just a soft tissue, like tweak type deal. You don't want to make it worse that time of year, so you just do what you got to do and move on.
How similar is the offense now to the Kubiak type offense that you were running in Baltimore?
Run game, it's very similar. There's a couple add-ons and like adjustments that they're new, or things that are called something else there, and it means something else here. So that's the only adjustment. But as far as technique and scheme, there's a lot of similarities. Pass game, I mean routes. I'm sure there's probably some different stuff that they're doing out there, but protection's very similar, stuff like that.
You have experience running these outside zone plays, but the rest of the offensive line mostly did shotgun zone read stuff last year. How would you evaluate how the entire unit is blocking these outside zone schemes, zone run plays so far during training camp?
I think everybody came in with a mentality to kind of just focus on what's going on now, and a lot of the guys have done a great job of doing the things the way Coach Benton's asked us to do. So regardless of what they were doing last year, like we haven't ever watched any of that, so I have no idea how well it translated all that. I know everybody's all in with the new scheme.
Trent Brown had kind of an inconsistent practice yesterday, a little bit better today. What have you seen from him?
Trent Brown is a freakish athlete for a 6'5", 290-pound person. You put that kind of athleticism in, 6'8", 300 and whatever he is, and it's almost unfair. Trent is able to do things that a lot of other people can't do, and it's kind of like a gift and a curse. Sometimes it gets him in trouble, and sometimes you just sit back and you kind of marvel at it. But just his consistency and the things that he's working towards. I mean, sky's the limit for that guy.
How can it get him in trouble?
When you know that you're a better athlete than a lot of the guys you're going against, you could take more risks. You kind of, like I said, he does things that other people can't do, and sometimes technique-wise, it's not the most advantageous thing. But he gets away with it sometimes, and then other times, it gets him in a little bit of trouble. But like I said, he's a tremendous athlete, and I think he's going to just be an outstanding player.
Jeremy, fellow Scarlet Knight over here.
All right.
Go Rutgers.
Yeah.
So, since you're coming from the East Coast, Baltimore, you said there's so many similarities. What are some of the differences coming here to the Niners?
You mean like organization-wise, or just?
On field-wise.
Temperature, I guess, would be one. It's not very humid out here, so I kind of do some things to try to help myself get a little more of a sweat going, things like that. But yeah, I've been on the East Coast pretty much my whole career, and it's just it's a little bit different climate-wise and all that, but it's probably more advantageous to work in that kind of heat. With like when we're in Tampa, you just get beat up by the heat all the time, so it's kind of to be able to focus on your technique and not have to worry about cramps and things of that nature. So it's cool.
What about personnel-wise with the coaches that you're working with?
I mean, I'm still getting to know everybody. I spent a lot of time with obviously Coach Benton and Coach Stenovich, but the other guys I haven't got as much time with. Kyle I've sat and talked to sometimes, but still getting to know everybody.
You mentioned.
I know it's early yet, but how would you describe just the early strength of this line coming together and what you guys are all learning this new scheme? What would you say the strength is right now?
We have a lot of athletes. Like I said, Trent Brown is a great athlete, but obviously Joe Staley has been doing it for as long as, I don't even know, 11, 12 years at this point now. So, Kilgore is a very athletic guy. Josh Garnett he's very powerful, but he's also athletic. So I think athletically, we're as good as anybody is.
Earl Mitchell isn't the biggest or most physically imposing guy on the defensive line, but it seems like he's gotten off to a good start in camp. What makes him difficult to block?
Yeah, he's not huge, but he's extremely quick off the ball. He's good off his first step, leading with his hands to kind of try to keep some separation, not let you work into his body, and that allows him to kind of work in a little bit of space and get off of things easier. So what he doesn't have in that mass, just him being able to kind of get into you before you're set is an advantage for him.
Is this one of the taller defensive lines that you've gone up against, and how is that?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a defensive line with 2 6'7", 6'8", guys like that. There's a lot of batted balls. They do a great job of using their length. They get their hands up and make things more difficult on us and the quarterback, and it's just great work.
Have you been impressed by Buckner and Armstead?
Yeah. I mean, and also they're young guys, so I've been most impressed by. It seems like every time they take the field, they're getting a little bit better. There's something that they're trying to work on and improve each day, and that's going to take them a long way.
You mentioned verbiage was a little different between here and Baltimore. Also, Matt Barkley said that it's a little more complex as far as play calls go. How have not only yourself but the rest of the line kind of like adjusted to that as far as complexity of play calls?
You just got to be kind of focused in on each call and kind of pull out what you need. Each key word that you need to hear to kind of get you going in the right direction. And it's just about repetition. The more it happens, the easier it is to pull it out and process it a little bit quicker. So, we're 4 days in the training camp, so it's going to come.
When's the last time you reported to a camp and were running with the twos a little bit and felt like you really had to earn your way to the starting lineup?
It's been a while, probably some time actually when I first got to Baltimore, we were competing. A lot of times we were going back and forth. So competition's nothing new to me.
So, but coming off a Pro Bowl year, does it feel weird that you're just not assumed to be a starter?
No, I've never came into a camp and assumed that I was going to be a starter. In the NFL, they're always trying to replace you. So. Every year you come out there, there's somebody breathing down your back trying to take your job. So that's the way it goes.
Jeremy, there continues to be a lot of talk about CTE and brain trauma as it relates to the NFL. Have you, ever thought, for health reasons about stepping away, or what are your thoughts about, the potential long-term effects?
Yeah, everybody thinks about it. It's something everybody has to kind of make a personal choice, moving forward with everything. Some guys have been more fortunate to not have had the concussion or I guess the high impact one where it's been diagnosed or it's been obvious. You just kind of gotta just go day by day, and as long as everything's feeling good, I think you just kind of move forward.
Some reps you're at center, you're going against someone like Earl. Like other reps, you'll be at guard and you'll be going against DeForest or someone like that. Is that type of variance in terms of going those guys' physical skill sets? Is that unique in your experience in the NFL? Just the opposing skill sets of different offensive linemen on or defensive linemen on this D line?
Yeah, we have a lot of different, a different group of guys in D-line, you know, tall, quicks, massive guys. So I think it's just good work. You know, you get to go against every type of player and every kind of body type. So it gets you prepared for what you're going to be going against 17, 16 weeks on Sundays.
You guys good?
Cool.
Thanks.